Okay, well, we've been grinding away here on the Texans, and getting us another really impressive team. Done a good job, in all areas down there. Really productive on offense, defense, special teams. Obviously, well coached. A lot of good players. A lot of good players on special teams. Lead the league in punt coverage, kickoff coverage. Do a great job with field position. You know, defensively, Romeo's one of the best, and they always are sound. Great technique team, good tackling team. Don't beat themselves. Make you earn all of it. And offensively, they've got a lot of explosive players, and do a lot of things well. So they're really at the top of the league in just about everything offensively. Wherever you want to look, certainly big plays. First down production. They're good at a lot. So another big challenge for us this week to get ready to go down here and face a team that we haven't faced in a while. They've certainly a lot of changes since the last time we played them, so it's a little different than when we opened with them last year. We had seen them more recently. There's a little more space between these games, and I'd say quite a few personnel changes from the last time, but that's what it is.
Your thoughts on Deshaun Watson and specifically the challenge that he provides in being able to keep the play alive, some of his big deep passes too.
Very good in deep passes. They lead the league in long balls, deep passes. They all have a lot of production there, especially Fuller and Stills. But he gets them down there. Everybody gets the ball to all his receivers, backs, tight ends. They all have a lot of production. He can extend plays. He can run. He can extend a throw, accurate at all three levels. And he's a tough guy to handle, hard guy to tackle. He makes plays on his own. Sometimes there's some plays that are designed for him to handle the ball, carry the ball, but sometimes not. And, he makes good decisions.
Just to follow up on that, Bill, some of the things you said maybe were similar to what we heard you talk about with Lamar Jackson from having recently faced the Ravens. Do you see any linkage there in terms of the two quarterbacks, in terms of facing them in one?
He played Prescott last week. He's leading the league in passing.
Well, I was thinking, the plays where you talk about some plays for himself.
Yeah, all three of them.
Levin Reed?
Your thoughts on just DeAndre Hopkins and in particular the hand strength? It always seems like he's able to catch it one hand, and it's almost impossible to get the ball away.
Yeah, as good as there is. He's got tremendous ball skills. He's long, great judgment, great timing to go up and get the ball. Make some extended catches that I don't know how many guys other than him could make them. But he's got good hands, good timing, strong hands, as you said. And he creates separation with his quickness, his physical size, his length. He's really never covered because there's always some place you can put the ball where he can catch it, and he has the hands to catch it. So very hard guy to stop. They move him around. He's you got to find him first to even cover him. Then after that, it's it's a big challenge to handle him. He's clearly one of the top guys in the league. Gets a lot of coverage and still has an enormous amount of production.
Bill, in addition to Hopkins, the addition of Stills and then the return of Fuller, how does that complicate things defensively? In particular with Watson, when plays are extended, covering those guys for longer periods of time.
They've got a lot of explosive plays. Stills, is one of the most explosive players in the league in terms of big plays, last 3 or 4 years. And Fuller's, last year against Atlanta, he had over 200 yards. These guys can turn a 5-yard pass into a 50-yard touchdown with what you said is exactly what happened in the Atlanta game. It was a little out route. Watson scrambled. Fuller turned it up. 50-yard touchdown. So, yeah, they can score in a hurry. They run a lot of deep routes, a lot of intermediate routes. They also run a lot of short routes, and They get catch and run plays, separate the defense with those deep routes, and that opens up, space for Fells and Johnson and Watson to scramble. So, yeah, they create a lot of problems.
Is Watson as effective scrambling left as right?
Yeah. I mean, anytime you get out into space, it's a problem. He can run. He can throw on the run. Usually when he scrambles, he has space to pull up and throw. He's not scrambling into traffic. He rarely does that. So once he gets out on the move, he has plenty of time to survey the field and make a good decision and throw it in there.
Given all their changes on defense, have you seen them change their scheme at all, or they kind of stick to what they?
Yeah, well, Romeo's a game plan coach, so he'll do, whatever he needs to do based on the team he's playing and who he has available and what he can do with his players. So we've got to be ready for multiple things, but it's never. Romeo's very sound, and what they do, they'll do well, and they'll make it hard on us, or whoever they play, they'll make it hard on them. And they have a very good group of linebackers. Certainly McKinney and Cunningham are, two outstanding players inside. Merciless, and Scarlett on the edge. Those two guys are, both do a really good job of playing the run, rushing the passer, pursuit plays, chase plays. So, that's one of the best groups in the league.
Andrew Callahan?
Going back to DeAndre Hopkins for a second, you mentioned not having seen the Texans for a little while from the matchups you had against them in 2018 and 17. Do you see the same player? And if not, what are some differences in him this season versus your past meetings?
Yeah, he was great then. He's great now. I'd say they move him around a lot more now than they did before. He's in the slot. He's in motion. He's not always on the weak side. He's their son, but they put him in different spots, and they do a good job of, making it tough for you to cover him.
Bill Curry?
Bill, on Hopkins, we've heard you say many times, as far as playing receiver goes, what makes a good receiver get open and catch the ball. It sounds like Hopkins has no problem creating separation with his quickness, but is he one of the guys that kind of renders that first part of those 2 points that you made to us before kind of moot?
Yeah, I think he defines an NFL receiver. If you'll put an NFL receiver in the dictionary, just put his picture next to it. Gets open and catches the ball. Doesn't matter what the route is, doesn't matter what the coverage is, doesn't matter where the ball's thrown or what the situation. 1st and 10, 4th and goal. He's very, very productive, and he has such a variety of skills and routes. They can really do it all.
Are there guys though that maybe don't really need to get open because they're really good in contested situations, I guess?
No, the quarterback's got to thread the needle every time he throws in the ball. It's hard to do that. This isn't baseball. It's pass rush. So there's a lot of good quarterbacks make a lot of good throws, but if you make it hard enough on them, then they're not going to hit all of them, even the best ones. So, but he's usually open unless he's double covered, and he beats a lot of double coverage too. So it's not like, well, if you double him, that's it. He knows how to win the leverage of the double and how to attack double. He's been double his whole life, so he knows how to attack it and get open and create separation even when there are combinations on him. But certainly in single coverage, he almost always finds a way to get open.
Bill, how have you seen? How's DeAndre Hopkins, different than Amari Cooper in that matchup last week? What's different about him?
Two totally different players. They're both good. They're two totally different players.
How is Hopkins different?
Different skill set. He's longer. He's more physical. He's got a catch radius and hands that are, elite. Cooper's faster, maybe a little more explosive. I don't know. They play in different offenses, so it's, I wouldn't say they're the same player, though, skill-wise.
Dirk Hyde?
Kenny's obviously a bigger linebacker. Is he similar at all to some of the linebackers that you guys have had here through the years?
Yeah, he's a really good player. You know, he's played outside, played inside. He plays inside for them, but he could play outside. Played outside of Mississippi State. You know, signal caller, smart guy, very involved, and tough to block in a pass rush, tough to block in the run game. Runs well, pursues well. You know, it's pretty good in coverage. This guy's a good football player.
Evan Lazar?
Have you seen Deshaun grow as a pocket passer, not necessarily on scrambles, just throwing the ball from the pocket?
Yeah, he's good. He does a good job. Reads coverage as well. Delivers the ball on time.
You mentioned Romeo before. When you face a team like this where the defensive coordinator knows you so well and the head coach knows you so well, is it make game planning and things like that?
Special teams coordinator too, Brad Sealy.
There you go.
Yeah. Jack Easterby. I think go right down the line. Yeah, it's not like we don't know each other.
Does it make it, what is it, does it make it easier to game plan because you know how they're thinking? Does it make it tougher? I mean,
I don't know. Just do the best you can each week.
you ever find yourself like outthinking yourself too much in situations like that? Or is that a risk?
Yeah, I don't know. Just try to take the information you have and put it together the best you can. I don't know.
Sorry, you mentioned Easterby. Just any residual feelings left over from that incident from this summer or anything like that?
What's that?
When you guys had to file tampering charges against the Texans?
They had anything to do with Jack Easterby. But yeah, look, all that's in the past, and I don't think that has any bearing on this game.
Andrew Callahan?
When you look at Ted Garris, obviously given the first extended playing time of his career, how have you seen him adapt to that role and then grow over the course of this season?
Yeah, Ted's been a solid guy for us since he's been here. You know, one of the most consistent players probably on our team. Comes to work with the same great attitude every day. Works hard, whatever you ask him to do. Weight room, classroom, walkthroughs, practice, scout team. You know, he always works hard. He's always ready to go. He always gives his best. Tries hard to improve. Has improved. But he's just a very consistent, you know, hard-working lunch pail kind of guy. Been really consistent. You know, gotten incrementally better through the course of time, but he's been consistent for 4 years.
Bill, I think almost their entire secondary has changed, maybe outside of Joseph, since the last time you guys played him. I think there have been a lot of changes during the season as well. How challenging does it make it for you guys to get a gauge of what they do and how they do it, or is it just guys are slotted into that system, and since you know that system, there's not much change?
Right. Well, you know, Reed was there for sure. Although I don't think he played a lot, but they've done a good job of, you know, putting players into their system, whether it's, you know, Reed replacing Wilfork or, you know, whoever, just go right down the line. So, but yeah, you're right. They've had some changes in the secondary. You know, getting Connolly's, you know, certainly, you know, helped them. Drafted Johnson. Reed's done a good job for him. So I think schematically they're similar to what they've been, and they're sound, and again, they know their leverage, they know where their help is, they know what they can and need to do on each coverage, and they're pretty consistent at it.
Your final questions, Bob?
Carlos Hyde and Duke Johnson, that combination in the backfield, how much of a different dimension does that give the Texans with those two together? I know they've had more in the past, and we've seen a lot through the years. But
Yeah, it seems like they've always had good backs down there, and both Duke and Carlos are having a good year for him. You know, Hyde's a strong, powerful runner, hard to tackle. You know, has good quickness, runs a good pad level. You know, he's had some long runs, you know, 30, 40 yarders where he can just run through a couple arm tackles at the line of scrimmage, and they have a hard time getting him down in the secondary. Doesn't play on third down. Johnson plays on third down, but Johnson also plays on all downs, so he's kind of a versatile player. Not just a third down back, but, you know, again, has plenty of playing time on early downs as well. So although Hyde gets obviously the majority of carries, but Duke gets plenty of them too. So, you know, both those guys have been a, you know, good addition for him, and I think they complement each other well. They've both been very productive.
Try two more. Max Furlow and then Dan.
Bill, now that you've had a chance to watch the film, how do you feel about Isaiah's performance in his first game back the other day?
You know, I think, you know, it's good to have him back out there. He's a good player. Hadn't played in a little while. I'm sure he'll, you know, each practice, each game, be a little bit better for him. But you know, he did a lot of good things for us. Like I said, I'm glad we had him out there. You know, he works hard to improve. I'm sure he'll improve on a daily basis like he has for the last 3 weeks he's been out there practicing. But each challenge is a different challenge. So whatever happened last week. We're not playing the players or the scheme we played last week. So these guys play a lot differently than Dallas does. So we'll see how we can do against them.
Dan Roach, last question.
Bill, just at this point of the season, what you've done and everything else, just what are you thankful for as you hit Thanksgiving tomorrow?
The opportunity to coach the team and the players and the staff that we have here. Players work hard. We have a good group. Coaching staff is good. They make my job a lot easier. And, you know, it's the opportunity to be head coach in the National Football League for the New England Patriots. Great.
Five choices.
Thank you. And whatever's on the table.